Okay, this is how you do your roll the most simplest and best way. Take the roll, cut it through the middle first, gently, not all the way through the skin, but just to spread it like that. First cut it through the middle and then kind of cut on the sides a little bit to make it as flat as you possibly can, but still making sure the full skin and the back of this is intact. Now, a lot of people dry their roll. I don't. I just pull it out of the fish and I start doing this. Why? Because the borax takes all the moisture out of it, so you don't really need to dry it. Then, depending on the size of skin you have, right here I have coho roll, so I'm cutting 1/3 of the length, like you saw, and I'm doing these bait-sized chunks. These bait-sized chunks, actually, when it's all cured and I'm fishing it, I cut them down even further. So see, I divided it in 3, so it's easy for me to cut those chunks. What I find is that the least roll you have on your hook, the best. Why? First off, because if you put too much roll, then it covers the hook too much and then you miss a lot of bites. You can't set the hook properly because the roll is covering the hook. Secondly, fish really do very much like, and I find that they bite better and more on less roll. That being said, I love coho roll because it's the smaller, like the actual little eggs are smaller, and because when I fish roll, I always use spider wire, which a picture of it I'll pop on the screen, and then I wrap the roll sack after I put it through the egg loop of the hook. I extra wrap it around the hook with that string, which is called spider wire, or I don't know where you're from, it may be called something else. I think the spider wire is just a brand. Anyhow, you fill that bag with borax, just straight borax, and be generous with the borax, okay? And then spend a little time to really nicely mix the whole thing together, like, you know, like what you see I'm doing. And basically, if you want to leave it at that, that's it, man. You don't have to add anything else. You don't have to add color. You don't have to add anything. This what you want to call it, natural looking roll works amazing. I've used it for years. Over here I added some fire cure because I had some leftover, and you really don't need much. Like, I'd say I put this much, I put the whole thing in, and it's a little too much. I usually put less. I usually put less than what you see me just put. But again, you don't really need it. So I'm gonna go through the whole process of shaking it nicely and blending the whole thing together and making sure that all that pink mixes in with the rest of the borax and the eggs really nicely. And then after that, you don't need to put it in the fridge before you put it in the freezer. You can just throw it in the freezer if you want. But if you want to put it in just the fridge, it also works, and you can stay there for, I'm gonna say, a month at least, and it will be still good and fresh and nice. It doesn't go bad that easy at all. What else is there? What else is there? I think that's about it. Yeah. And this roll looks beautiful. Beautiful and ready to fish. Goodbye.